the sky. But I'm out here in this lovely garden setting and anxious to see your questions. I'm heading off to Monaco this week for round 5 of the F1 calendar, my most eagerly awaited race. And for those people that want to ask me what is my favourite race, it is Monaco. So you don't need to do that. So thank you to those people who are now joining in. Hola, hola, hello, there's a member. Hello, Nathan King. Hello to all of you. I had a COVID test yesterday. It's my second in 2 days because of a muck-up with what one of my office staff thought was 3 days being 72 hours. It turns out I had one on Friday that's come back as a negative, which is good. But then I realised at 1 a.m, when was it? Night before last, that, hey, that's not actually 72 hours, that's about 78 hours and would not be accepted. So I would have got to the airport and been turned away, and that would have been very sad. So I've since gone and got another one yesterday and got that back last night. That was negative. Hello to Greece. What are your F1 questions? What are you interested in at the moment on a pleasant Sunday in most parts of the world? Where might it be a Saturday? Not in America? Oh no, somewhere it's Saturday. Hello, Portugal. I loved your country. I love the open countryside down there. What was my strangest F1 moment? Do I have a strange F1 moment? I'll come back to that. I do need a haircut though, yes. I'm going tomorrow, I think. What's this one? I see FIO stickers on photographers' equipment. Oh yeah, we have to have, do I have a camera handy? Yeah, I do. Just hang on a sec. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall over. Right, I'm back with you. And in actual fact, just hang on a sec, because I've just realised that I will swing this around in a sec, so just since they're good people. Right, somebody asked about the stickers. I imagine you're talking about these little stickers here. Can I get closer to that? Yeah. So that says Photo Spain. If we're to photograph, being accredited, we have to have these stickers on every camera, and it's the same for TV cameras. So effectively, security at F1 can say, hey, you haven't got a sticker on that camera, you can't shoot. And I don't think I've ever been, I think I've been asked twice to show the stickers, but at this stage, there's not that many photographers about. Grand Prairie, Texas. Hello, you don't have to wear masks here, is that right? Here's Perth Luxury. I'd rather win at Monza in one of the red cars than anywhere else, yes. Very quick way to the hearts of the Tifosi, of course. Joe and Oliver from Kennedy's. Thank you, Kennedy's. Great jewellery store there, and they're holding a Rolex Daytona white-faced stainless steel black dial for me, I'm sure, or a Batman. My colleague who is with me at the moment here, he has a Batman on his wrist, the lucky bugger. Beautiful watch, and for those of you not sure what a Batman is, it's a it's GMT, I'm pretty sure, but it has a blue and black dial around the blue and black bezel, and Rolex is a sponsor of Formula One, but not of any team. And in fact, I've just finished prepping for a video I'm doing on watches of Formula One, and I think it's going to be a ripper. Hello from Krakow. That's Poland, yes. Did you watch the GMR Grand Prix? No. Was that the one that GMR? What's GMR? Is that the one that, are you talking Indy? Is that the one that Roman came second in, which was fantastic? There's another question. No, we didn't watch it. We tried to, but we couldn't get access. Hello, Phil Francis, a member. And if you're a member, you'll get my attention. And if you want to chat, here's a super chat. Phil, I'm coming back to you. LP metal detecting. How about a public F1 weekend for a laugh? Pit stops done by Steve's Tyre Service. Strategies from Facebook experts and drivers picked from McDonald's car park on a Saturday night. Well, that would be quite a show, wouldn't it? And you could drink, you could drive with a... No, you wouldn't do that. Rolex is just a dumb sponsor doing nothing. You get their logo out there. It's such an amazing company, though. Patek Philippe, which is another great watchmaker, that has nothing to do with F1. Oh, I haven't got my microphone on. Just hang on a sec. Oh, shoot. my camera. Yes, you're right. It was right next to me. Oh, this is going well, people. That's twice I've had to leave you, but I am back because you will appreciate the addition of this microphone, because the audio is not bad from that phone, but it's much better when I mount this on top, and I'll get back to your question. So yes, if you're not a member, you should be. Members get privileges like wallpapers, and I put up a few extra ones this week, and people love them. They're all high res too. Forgive me for getting my hand in the way there. Right, now tell me, does it go from okay to much better to people? Is it too loud? If so, I can turn it down. How much are the hookers in Barcelona? You tell me. Are they even still in business? Fantastic wallpaper. Yes, thank you very much. Audio, much better. Great, thank you for that fine sound. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of audio equipment. Women of Spain. Yeah, look, I haven't done that video. I didn't do Portimao either because they were back to back. But yes, I could do it. I could do it later today, yes. We'll see what happens. 172 of us, just a gentle number here this morning. Yes, I'm excited for Monaco. It's a great race. Hello to my member there who popped up. Although, that's Marius. Although we do have to be either at the track or at home, or at the hotel or apartment, wherever we are. We can't be wandering around. Although they did relax rules this week. They said that people who are staying in France, and I'm staying in France, but just over the border, are allowed to eat in Monaco restaurants as long as you've got your FIA accreditation with you. Hello to Suhit. How's the weather? Beautiful, just beautiful. I have a super chat. Yes, I think I did that. Did I do that one? Yes, LP metal detecting. I did that one. I can't see another one. Thoughts on South Africa? Just got no thoughts. Never considered it. Are there any other bald F1 photographers? There's at least 2 more that I know of. An Egyptian follower, thank you for that. Go to Monaco tomorrow. Any good Monegasque cuisine? I don't know, but it's hellishly expensive. Well, everything's expensive there. And do you know that because I'm with Telstra and I can travel the world, and most countries have this day pass thing, but not in Monaco. You have to go and buy a separate card for Monaco, and it's normally in Australians or anyone from outside Monaco cannot get Monaco telecoms. Only locals can. So we have to go and get a card from, I think, Orange or Vodafone from France, which works in there. Double header Austria. How visa goes for... No, we're fine with visas. We don't need visas for up to 90 days. Have you talked to Angela Cullen before? Yes, a number of times. We had a quick chat on last race. She's a great girl and is quite a good scooter rider. Well, hello from the Czech Republic. I've been to Prague for one night. It was very busy, lots of tourists a couple of years ago. Myala, is it? What did you photograph before you got into F1? I did a wildlife book in Africa. It took me 26 weeks in Africa over 2.5 years, and that was my last foray, but I'm loving Formula One. Hello, Dublin. Yes, I have got my flights booked to Turkey, and I've got to come back. I'm going actually with Turkish Airlines to Baku and coming back with a stopover, obviously, in Turkey for the race, which is now not happening. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. So I have a week to spare. Any suggestions on where I should go? Somewhere lovely. And I'm thinking the south of France because it is probably easier for me to leave straight after the Baku race and come back just for, it saves us an extra COVID test, which we have to do. As I mentioned before, it is a pain in the bum when we have to go and get a private COVID test somewhere, and expensive. But I believe not as expensive as they are in Britain. They range anything up to, did I see 130 odd pounds? Anyway, no avoiding it, you just have to do it. Which hotel you're booking in Monaco? No, I'm not staying in Monaco. And I would never book it. Actually, I stayed in a hotel once in Monaco. It's just a right royal rip-off. especially when I'm out of the room for at least 12 hours. I might be in the room awake for 3 tops a day, and obviously sleep for 6 or 7. Yes, I'm still in Barcelona. Some can be £200 in the UK. They must be loving COVID, those labs. I don't think I'll be doing Giro d'Italia. I'm pretty much just locked on to F1 at the moment. Where do the mechanics and engineers sleep? Yeah, hotels. No, not motorhomes. Hotels, apartments. Can't you have a refund for the COVID test through insurance? No, you can't. Insurance covers nothing to do with COVID. In fact, my insurance policy, and I think almost every other policy, excludes it. You couldn't certainly go on a holiday and have insurance for COVID, and I can't get it for work, but that's all right. I've had the vaccination, so if anything, if I do get it, it just means I have to stay put for a couple of weeks, and I'm not going to get, well, hopefully I don't get sick enough to have to go to hospital. Cheers from Austin, Texas. Monaco is so sexy. It's a beautiful looking place, especially if you can get up the top of the hill and shoot down. It's quite lovely. And this is really nice light. I should do a video in this light. Do you follow... I know Hendrik, but I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him this year, have I? No, I've seen some other guy. How important do you think Toto Wolff is for Mercedes? How important? So you want a degree. All right, well, that's out of 10. Let's give him 8. That's another thing. I don't know if any of you have ever read any books by Larry King, but he's got a book about interviewing, and he says lazy interviewers start every question with how. How excited are you? How this, how that, and it is, and it's lazy. And I've come to realise that when I listen to interviewers around the world ask questions. So I'm very mindful of when I ask a question that I try and avoid how as the initial word in the sentence. But I do want to find that book. Roman Grosjean, Rookie of the Year. I don't know anything about Scotty, but well done to Roman for coming second. That would be unfamiliar territory for him. He hasn't been up there for quite a long time. I'm probably not going to say hi to Toto, but I'll rest assured that if you see him, you probably will say hi. Isn't it funny, like when I do this, I only have one chance, so I can't stop and retake. But when I'm doing a video for my YouTube channel, I will do 6 and 7 takes, and it's so frustrating. And I think, well, why can't I just do like this, where you have warts and all in there, but your mind knows that, hey, you can go and re-record, and you do. Hello to Damien. Thank you for becoming a backer. Now, what Damien's done, people, is he's gone and clicked on the member button, the join button, and he's now part of the team. And now all the other members will get around him and welcome him to the fold, and VIP members get their names at the end of every one of my videos on a separate screen. And they also get wallpapers every month. They get discounts on ProStar Pick stuff, and occasionally we'll throw up an exclusive video for a member. Plus you get added exposure here and recognition, and who doesn't like to be recognised? Have I already been at the same hotel as some drivers? Yes, lots of times. But you very rarely see them, because you might see them as you go out to the track or when you come back. It's not like they're hanging around the bar, getting stuck into the grog at night. Rightio, cheapest way around Monaco vid. Yeah, I can't. I've just got to go to the track and go back to my apartment. There's no... You got to either work or be locked down. There'll be no running around doing travel videos, unfortunately. That's part of the very severe restrictions that we are under, and I have to produce 3 pieces of paper when I get to the airport tomorrow. I have to produce a negative COVID test, which is fine. I've got that. We have to fill in a stat deck for the French government, and there's one other piece of paper. Oh, our FIA letter welcoming us to France. Have I had biltong? Yeah, I don't mind biltong at all. I like the Jack's American biltong in the metal packet. Jack's something or other. It's a bit softer. I can't. Your questions just all disappeared there. Do I go to the same hotels? I go to... In Barcelona, I would only go to the Hotel Barcelona 1882. In Budapest, I'd only go to Hotel Moments. I love it. Hey, Sophine. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. What others do I like? And there's a few other hotels, but and what I really want is somewhere where I feel comfortable, like in Barcelona 1882. We could go down to that lounge area and I could do videos and I could sit there and it's like a huge big club. And that's the sort of thing I want. Hello, Phil. Yeah, thank you, Phil, for welcoming Sophine. Have I ever been to Sweden? No, I haven't. No one's ever invited me. My favourite F1 driver, as you can see, is my good old Lando. You love Lando. Who's my favourite F1 driver? Oh, I like a number of them. I like Pierre and Lando's good fun. Valtteri's great. Good to have a chat with. Just down-to-earth guy. Daniel's good. I've spoken to a number of them, but not all of them. And you wouldn't really get much time with Lewis because he is so quick out and about. Are you visiting Austin this year? Well, are you having a race there this year? Will you be welcoming us? If you're welcoming us, I will be there, provided I don't get COVID 2 weeks prior. I don't think that football game's on. We talked about that last night. But the Amber Lounge Fashion Parade's on, and I've applied for accreditation for that. And I'll be very interested to see if that goes ahead on the Friday night. Now, as you know, there is no F1 racing on the Friday because they have that off due to some age-old tradition that I've reported on once and since forgotten. Max said if they did pit and came ahead, Hamilton still would have gotten him. Or he would know, I guess. He was one of the two drivers in question there, wasn't he? Can you tell anything about testing? No, I can't. I've got no idea about that, my friend. Hello from Nairobi to Sam. Been to your country a number of times out in the Mara. Favourite racetrack? Somebody please tell that person. I hate answering that question because it's something that pops up 10 times every single live stream. And what about this? Hey, this lovely outdoor area that we have here at this apartment. It's very nice. And there's one big bedroom there. There's some lovely art on the wall. This is the sort of stuff that I like. And I got this primarily so I could do videos out here because it's important not to have a daggy hotel bedroom as a backdrop. And is David here? David, did you actually get wind I was doing this? Hopefully you are, and if so, thank you. Is Max worthy of a championship? Oh, if his car was a bit faster, I'd say yes. Hello, Manila. Sri Lanka. What else have we got here? Will it be rain in Monaco? I have no idea. I've not even looked at the forecast yet. Because I looked at the forecast for Portimao and it said every day rain, and it turned out to be fantastic on almost every day. I think it's sprinkled for one day, and that's about it. This is lovely light. Which is the most modern track? Abu Dhabi. Most expressive driver. Oh, Daniel's pretty good. Lando can be funny. Nico was always the best for me because I knew him. And I guess the more you know a driver, the better your photos are going to be. What has someone said? I missed that question, sorry. Is there a track you would like to see? No. Are fans allowed on track in Monaco? Well, they're allowed 7,500 fans in the stand. And as I mentioned in one of my videos this week, and I've done a few, and I'll come back to one point I was thinking of there. But at the end of the race, everyone had to sit in their seats until security said, right, your row, and everyone had to leave in an orderly manner, one by one. I thought that was so well organised, and I was mighty impressed. So I imagine they will do the exact same thing here, that you can't just all get up at the end of the race and head off. You've got to do it in an orderly fashion so that you don't spread COVID. Hello, Nicholas. Is that Nicholas? I hope so. You also get a special badge when you become a backer. And hopefully, can you all see that Nicholas's message is in green? So as you can see, he has precedence over the white messages. What's your favourite thing in Bahrain? I like the downtown Rotana Hotel. I like their bar up the top. And on Tuesday nights, they had the best music I've ever heard. Music from my teen years. Which is the best pick? Best pick, I don't know. Daniel coming onto the grid in Hockenheim 2019 is the best one. You go and search Daniel and I think spray are the two words that would find that quickly. Thank you, Nicholas. Informative and entertaining. Yes, thank you very much. I will keep it up and till I get bored with it. And what's another good picture? I like the George Russell going over to Valtteri's car because I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful shot and tells a great story. Will Mazepin crash in Monaco? We're going to find out in a few days. Cars are on track on Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. Favourite team? Mine's Ferrari. I don't have a favourite team. I like shooting... Well, I've said this before. I like shooting the Ferrari and the McLaren, and I don't like shooting the Mercedes or the Aston Martin because they're just blobs of black in bad light. Who do you think will win the Monaco GP? Well, whoever takes pole. There you go. Are there any different photography techniques or gear you want to use? Yes, I want the Laowa 14mm probe lens, and I did have it for a whole year last year, but never went to one race. It's this little skinny long lens that is fantastic. Women of the Paddock in Monaco, yes. Well, I'll have 2 weeks off, a week, 10 days off. So yes, you'll get that video. Favourite hotel in London? Do not have one. I hate them all. The rooms are so small, it's so expensive that I avoid them at all cost. Yeah, it's just a horrendous city to get a hotel for any sort of decent value. Do you change camera setups for different races? No. Well, like last race, I took a 50mm out to do driver arrivals with a polarizer on, and the 50mm fixed is a glorious lens, and I certainly had glorious pictures with great blue skies because I used a polarizer. Obviously, you've got to do a little bit more walking because you can't just zoom in, you've got to use your feet. But I've got an 85mm that I might use for a shot coming out of the tunnel on Thursday, or whatever day it's the sunniest and brightest, because that shot needs bright sunshine to complement, or whatever the opposite of complement is, the darkness of the tunnel. Good story about the Belgian GP. No, I can't tell one. I can. I don't think the Aussie GP will go ahead, Jamie. The day after Antoine Hubert died, which was Sunday race day, I was just wandering around the paddock and I could see all these drivers heading a certain direction. I thought, well, this is great. All these pictures are just coming to me. And then I said, where's everyone going? They said, didn't you know there's a ceremony on the track? I thought, oh, good thing I asked that question because that was a vital event to be a part of. Did you book a hotel in Austria? Yeah, I've got one in Austria, but I've also got an apartment. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't think our options are that great in Austria, unfortunately. What did you do before F1? Have a look at kimillman.com. What would you do if you weren't a photographer? Well, I just run my companies, put a bit more effort into the companies I own instead of running around the world doing this. But anyway, we don't have to worry about that because this is a thing I'm doing right now, and I'm grateful for your attention here on the internet. Yes, I talk to Will quite a bit, and he's helped me out, and I've helped him out from time to time. He's a font of knowledge, F-O-N-T, font. Why is Monaco your favourite track? Because it has so many guaranteed shots that are beautiful, whereas a lot of tracks I struggle to find great shots. Like Melbourne, because of the wire, like China, because of the grey skies, and it's just not very interesting, no atmosphere. Hello, India. Advait. Is that how I say your name? Could be wrong. Raven Blue. Favourite car? Ferrari. Why is there no Indian GP? Well, you wouldn't want one this year because you guys are in all sorts of strife over there. And I did see, I think, that Australia had a repatriation flight for 150 people coming back to Australia from India. And they'd all had to have a COVID test and present that at the airport. Then they got another test before they left. And apparently 80 of them had COVID. And so the flight, or maybe 70 of them had COVID. So anyway, the flight left with about half the number of people that were booked, which is a crying shame. Yes, I'm going to Baku unless I get... And everything's prefaced or suffaced by the fact that if I don't get COVID, because if I get COVID, then you don't go anywhere for 2 weeks. You just stay put. What makes Monaco tricky apart from the narrow track? Well, to drive, I don't know because I've never driven it. For us, it's beautiful. It's so easy to get from one end of the track to the other. You can do it in about 12 minutes walk, I think. What am I sitting on here? This is uncomfortable. Have you ever been in a Formula car? No, I wouldn't fit, would I? Where will I stay for the summer break? I don't know. Don't know yet. Can change at a moment's notice. Casino Square, a good place to take pictures. Yeah, look, if you're a good photographer, yes, I've seen some of the great photographers take good stuff, but we used to be able to get very close on the right-hander that goes down the hill, but they pulled us away last time. Mazepin is a personality. Oh, he avoids us going into the paddock. He goes to the entrance that we are never at. So unfortunately, we don't get that many pictures of him. I see him out on the track walk. Now, interestingly, will there be a track walk in Monaco? Because the track walk is done on the Wednesday and the roads are open. And there are punters everywhere. And I don't think F1 really wants the drivers to be mixing with the general public. So I'm going to see what happens there, and I'll be reporting to you about that. Where will I take photos from Monaco? Exit of the tunnel, in the tunnel, exit of swimming pool. Might even go outside. I don't know if we can go outside the track and shoot. I don't know. I'll see what happens. But those are my definite. What is the cost to stay in a hotel in Barcelona? Well, it depends. Anywhere from 100 Aussie a night to maybe 800 a night, depending on where you stay. Have you ever had a chance? I've had one quick word with Kimmy once, but no, he doesn't need to talk to me, and I've got not much that I need to say to him. But I like him. I think he's a great character for the sport. Love to see F1 on the Gold Coast. That'd be a very skinny track, wouldn't it? I went there once to that V8 event. I had a balcony up there and watched it, but yeah, it wasn't my favourite thing. I used to own some homes on the Gold Coast. At one stage I had 3 on Sovereign Island and 1 at Palm Beach, if that means anything to anyone. Daniel's great, friendly and chatty, great personality. Why is there no Shanghai F1 this year? It's because China has a very tough entry rule on F1 crew. Yeah, that's right. And we're going to find Australia's going to have tough entry. Singapore will have very tough entry. I'm not sure about Tokyo. I wouldn't think that we're going, not Tokyo, Suzuka. There are definitely a number of other races likely to be cancelled. Best looking car, not in photos. Ferrari. How do you become a photographer like me? Well, you have to find out what F1, FIA are after in their accreditation section on their website, and if you fit that, I guess you could be accredited, but half of the photographers that were accredited in 19 aren't accredited now because of the fact that COVID's out. And it's knocked the number of people allowed into the track by at least half because there are not enough seats in the media centre. So I wouldn't suggest now is the time to be looking at starting a career in this field. Can you speak any language? I speak a bit of basic German. And if you want to get your question here, make sure you go to Super Chat, because it'll jump to the head of the queue, or become a member. Yes, I am excited for Monaco, Davian, and thank you to the 315 people who are here. What would you do if you wouldn't have become a photographer? Well, I would continue running my companies, as I said before. Go to kimelman.com, and I have a company called Messages on Hold, which employs 50 people in Perth, that is doing a great job without me at the moment. Hello to India. What watch? No, in actual fact, I've only got an Apple Watch with me, and that has a leather band, but unfortunately where the strap comes over here, the little thing that you tuck it into is gone, and so the thing flaps around, so I don't wear that. I have to buy one online, a watch band online. But I'm going to have a quick drink and you can ask yourself a question. Which airports are your favourite? Dubai, I love. That's the one that comes to mind. Portimao photos were awesome. Thank you for that. I would have liked to have done a little bit better. Some of them I thought weren't super sharp on the long shots, and you wouldn't have seen those because I didn't put those up. But I did love the crests, and that's the first time I've shot that track and had the ability to shoot those crests. I know Jiri, what a lovely fella, or Yiji, Vladimir, talented man. I don't know Martin. Yeah, Vladimir is a cool dresser too, and can edit. He has a little flat thing and a pen that he uses to edit photos, whereas I'm hopeless at that. I pretty much, if they don't come out of the camera looking pretty good, they don't get much better. But yeah, he's a very talented man and does work for Red Bull. Favourite current and old livery? Does it really matter? What do you think? I'm more interested in what you think. Oh, and I have to do a video this week on watches of F1, so I'm interested in your comments here if you've got any insights that you think I should include. Who's Max's physio? It's Bradley Scanes, Scanes. You'll find him on Instagram. What do you look for in a good photo? Clean background. Clean background. If you're looking for a car shot, but otherwise something that tells a story. Emotion. Steam coming off wheels, that sort of stuff. Richard Mille, yes, sponsors 2 teams and 2 separate drivers. Favourite shooting spot, exit of the tunnel. How's your flat in Barcelona? It's fantastic. Not a super area, but I spent yesterday 8 hours inside there, editing one video, which interestingly enough was called 21 More Things You Don't Know About F1. But it started off as my 9th of 10. I don't know if you put a video up, YouTube says, right, well, this one's sitting in the 9th position of your last 10th, which is pretty lousy. So it started at 9 and went to 8, and I thought, oh, that's a bit of a dud. Went to 7, and when I woke up this morning at about 4 a.m., it was up to 6 of 10, and the next thing I look, it's 2. So it's gone really well. I don't know why. It picks up momentum, but I'm not going to argue about it. I don't follow cricket. I have no interest in cricket, having played as a kid, and also my father was a state cricketer in South Australia. Do you think the Saudi street circuit is good for F1? I think any new track's exciting, and I'm very excited about going there. I think I'll be on my best behaviour, because you need to be. Now, what's something saying about Royal Oaks? Do you like the AP Royal Oak? I do not one bit. And in fact, I struggle to like a lot of the Richard Mille watches too. I think they're just quite over the top and gaudy. My favourite, the things I'm after at the moment, and I've got a reasonably good watch collection if you watch my video, would be a Rolex Batgirl, stainless steel white-faced Daytona, and a Pepsi. Do you like the Zandvoort circuit? I've seen a couple of pictures and maybe 1 or 2 laps. But yeah, it looks all right. Once again, new track, exciting. Which driver do you think has the best taste in watches? They don't have any taste in watches. They get given the watches and have to wear what they're given. So I think that's pretty upfront there. How expensive is accommodation in Monaco? Right, well, a small hotel room in the Columbus is about 2,000 Australian a night, which is 1,300 euros for one night, and you've got to book 4. Don't like the Yachtmaster, but most people don't stay in Monaco. It's just simply prohibitive. It's the real well-heeled. And it's going to be interesting to see too what happens with catering on boats, because I understand that they're not allowed to offer free food and booze all day. They've got to give out boxes of food. I'm not sure what the drink is, but that's stuff that I will be able to report on once I see it, because I'm just not sure how it's going to work. Patek Philippe produce, Rolex in a year produce as many watches as Patek has produced in their history of their company. What time do you start shooting at the track, and how late are the drivers coming in? Look, if the first session is at 11 a.m, I would be there at 8:15, and they would arrive. And I'd miss probably a couple too if I get there at 8:15, because maybe Mick Schumacher's in at 8. And then Lewis or Gasly or Kimi typically are one of the late arrivers, and they might get there an hour and a half, hour and a quarter. Do you follow AFL? No, not really. I used to sponsor the AFL with the West Coast Eagles. Is Sochi boring for photographers? I don't mind Sochi. However, with no access to the paddock, it's going to be interesting. The accommodation's not too bad around there. It's not the worst that we have. What is your opinion on Citizen? Functional, not very, what's the word, sought after, but available everywhere. You won't have to put your name down like you will for a Daytona. But then again, a Citizen's never going to go up in value, is it? But it'll always tell better time than an automatic watch, a mechanical watch. Do you need photo releases? No. Everyone, when they buy a ticket, signs something that says that they agree that their photo is going to be taken. You do when you buy a ticket. Anyone that works in it, no, you don't need to worry about that. Seb, lovely guy, struggling this year. Bit sad. How many photographers should be in pit lane and paddock? Well, I think we normally have just over 100 photographers at a race, and we're down to about 50. What got you into watches? I read it. My first watch was a Tag Heuer with that gold and silver interlocking bracelet. And I reckon I would have been influenced by F1 back then. And with Rolexes, I got excited after reading an article about a Daytona being hard to get. And I found one within about 3 months. Just walked into a jeweler. Have you got one? He said, yeah, those days are gone. Where's the Paddock in Monaco? It's, how do I explain this? It's on the water. So what's the last corner? The second last corner is Sandavot, is it? I can't remember. Anyway, it's up that direction. So it's the second last corner and whatever that is. Marina, is it? Raskas. Oh, it is Raskas, because I've been down there at night, and my God, because they open up the nightclubs at night after the day's action, and it just goes off. And I wonder whether they'll do that this year. Yeah, it is Raskas. And then it's all the way, whatever that direction is, out towards the sea. And they have the beautiful Red Bull floating energy station there, which has the pool on the top level. And if Max wins this year, he'll have the right to jump in the pool after the race. Yeah, I've been to the Monaco casino. Nothing special at all. And I do happen to know that the casino and the hotels in Monaco, I'm told, provide the funding for the whole of the municipality's costs, and that's why people don't have to pay taxes. What would be the biggest surprise from the Monaco GP? I don't know. If it's a surprise, how would we know? Who do you think will win Monaco? Lewis or Max? Are you interested in the racing itself? No, not really. I don't mind the racing when it's exciting. That's great. And in fact, last race, I was very lucky to have the audio working again, so I could actually hear how close Lewis was getting to Max. Favourite capital city in Australia isn't Perth. No. Melbourne, but I don't really love going to Melbourne either. Photographers' tips for taking selfies. Don't have yourself too dark. Don't have the sun behind you facing the camera and you be a silhouette. That's what I see a lot. And I think, how can people not see that? Just bump up the exposure on you and blow the background out. I knock around with a few of the F1 photographers. They're all pretty good. Favourite type of flower? Self-raising, there you go. In answer to your real question, I don't know. I don't have a flower, do I? I don't know many. I'll say a rose. Favourite colour T-shirt? I bought a new one yesterday at Diesel. Quite love Diesel. And I actually wore that in the video I did yesterday. And then I got an email from them saying that there was a problem with the payment. Can you pay again? So I got to go back online and do that again. Okay, what's Wooden Banana? Do you remember the first F1 photo you took as a pro? Yeah. Well, it would have been at testing in Barcelona in 2017, and it would have been a shot over at Turn 10, which has just been redesigned. No, we're not allowed to take videos at races. Most underrated position in an F1 team? I've got no idea. We need some Toto Wolff content. Yeah, I got a lovely picture of Toto the other day. He was standing right outside the media centre and with a nice background. So, look, maybe I'll pop that up at some point, although I kind of think it's almost a waste of a post, but because he never does as anywhere near as well as say, a driver. My most popular pictures, in terms of drivers, would be Lando and Daniel. Charles and Seb would probably be next. And I don't put much up of Antonio, unfortunately, or Nicholas, because they just don't have much of a following. I know they're not going to get much of a following with my audience if I don't put the pictures up, but it's this quandary. Do I go ahead and invest in a post knowing that it's not going to do so well? It's trying to work out what you people want on Instagram at Kim Illman. Yeah, please don't spam. And unfortunately, I don't have a moderator because I only decided at the very last minute to do this from lovely Barcelona. And I finally worked out how to put the, the thumbnail up. I'm waiting for another race like Germany, so am I, and I thought we might have had that at Imola, where there was just incident after incident, but it all died down. I don't know if any of the drivers are vaccinated, I'm afraid. And Antonio Giovinazzi just put a picture up on his story. I just got a message there. When are you travelling to Monaco? Well, I'm going tomorrow. Which medical car do you feel is better? No preference. What place on track? I've done that question. Predictions for Monaco. 7,500 people in the grandstand. That's my prediction because I know that's accurate. No, it's not my hotel room. This is an apartment that I've rented for a week. And you can probably hear the birds and occasionally somebody's dog. When it rains, what was that question? Yeah, I do carry a raincoat, and if I think it's going to rain, I take it with me, and I also take my wet weather kit for my cameras. And the smart photographer, and often that's not me, will put those wet weather covers on before they go out, because once it starts raining, it's very tricky to put them on, and it's not very pleasant shooting in the rain. And thankfully, we've not had much rain this year, and ideally, you want to have an umbrella, but that requires some planning. Will there be a full grandstand? Oh, maybe in America, because it seems like they're quite gung-ho over there. Yes, I've always been a Canon shooter because that was my first camera, and then you don't tend to change because you've got to get new lenses. Paddock, best paddock is Abu Dhabi. Oh no, Bahrain. Bahrain is the biggest and loveliest, and we do it at dusk in the evening. Does CEO comes every race? I don't know what that means. Perhaps you can explain that. Will there be any videos today? Well, I don't know. If I get motivated, but I need some time off. If Germany were to host an F1 race, would you like to see it? Well, I like Hockenheim for a selfish reason. There's a great hotel there. I have good memories of that place, so I'd like it to be there. But no harm in going to a new place. Have I ever shot photos of Roscoe? Yes, a couple of times. But I've not seen him at a race this year. Well, I wonder if anyone in Britain can tell me, is the new hotel open at Silverstone on the main straight? Because I'd be very keen to look at staying there, because everything else is just ordinary. I did stay at one of those holiday inns, a very cheap holiday inn in Milton Keynes, and it was quite funny, very basic room, but a quite quirky place to stay. Not yet, says Phil. Thank you for that. Whatever that was. Do you have? No, I've never been to Bathurst to photograph. I've had a car in the 12-hour once. I didn't drive it, but it was my car, and we came 5th or 6th, I think. Who are you rooting for the championship? Well, I'd like to see someone else win it, apart from Lewis, just for some variety. Not that I begrudge him the win, because he is clearly an amazing driver and one of the best ever. I'm at an Airbnb now. Kitty Snipe. Hello to Razvan. Where are you from, Razvan? Welcome along to the crew here. Are there any other drivers that have taken their pets to the paddock? Nico Hulkenberg's girlfriend took their dog into the paddock once in a bag, I think. Oh, Silverstone, end of this year. That's a bummer. Thank you for that. Hello from Croatia. I want to come to your country and spend a week on a boat out in the water there, because I think that'd be lovely. I would really like to do that. So if you've got any suggestions on good value boats. Hello, here's a, what is this one? How much does it cost you on average to visit F1 to photograph? on average. A lot. You've got accommodation each night, you've got airfares, and nobody gets away with this cheaply. Unless you've got friends in every city and you can stay at their house, which I wouldn't burden anyone with that. Hello from India. Lots of Indians. 7.6% of my audience is from India. And my most populated country for followers is the United Kingdom. So thanks for that. No, F1 doesn't cover any of my expenses. They don't cover anyone's expenses. They just... they've got a couple of photographers that they have contracts with, I think, Getty. But no, they don't pay for anyone's accommodation and expenses. Any investment business tips? Speak to my son. He's made quite a lot of money out of crypto in the last few weeks, and I've given him some of my money to have a play with to see how he goes. But once I put my money, it'll be a completely different situation. You watch. All right, well, that's good news for Silverstone next year, and I can't imagine those rooms being terribly good value at F1 time, but you wouldn't have to walk very far to the track, would you? Wet quali, is that what they're forecasting? That'd be interesting. Carnage. How did you find yourself in Italy? Yeah, just locked down primarily, but I had some nice apartments, and oh my gosh, the lasagna and the stuff you could get from the supermarket was world class. Been to Malaysia a number of times, once for F1 in 2017, and remember it being stinky hot. Drive about 40 minutes to a hotel, and that's about all I saw. I don't think I'll travel back home during the season. Too difficult. Can't get back into the country easily. Not even guaranteed of finding a flight, because they only allow 500 people a week into Western Australia. So you think most of the drivers will live in their houses at Monaco? I'm absolutely certain of it. Why wouldn't they? They're home bed. They feel comfortable. Do you know the young man who was around Toto all the time in Portugal? No, I don't. How did you notice that person? Were they noticeable on telly? Is there a shot you've always wanted to get? Is there? Nothing that comes to mind. Do I prefer wet? Look, I prefer dry races and quali because it's more comfortable for me. But picture-wise, you get some good pictures. It's just much more discomfort and inconvenience. Doctors of F1? Take me ages to work that out. Favourite road car? Don't really have one. I don't love cars that much. Oh, you know what I would like? One of those James Dean Porsches from whenever that was. That would be lovely. They wouldn't be cheap. Where would you find one? We've got a new member. Thank you to that. Oh, yeah, we've already mentioned Razvan. Is photography so profitable? Can be. Some guys make a great living. Others get around. Depends on how clever you are and how... I don't think there's much money made just selling your photos. I think you've got to do something with them. The media pass doesn't cost you anything. You have to be accredited. They determine who they want at the track and what you can bring to the sport. And if you can bring something to the sport, FIA will say, yes, you can come in and be our guest and photograph as you wish. Henry, I'm looking forward to... Is that Henry from Western Australia? Hard to see. And if it is Henry, you spelt my name wrong. Yeah, I'm looking forward to bringing news of what's going to happen in Monaco to you, and I'll be posting prolifically on certainly the Wednesday, the media day. How do you know if someone is from Netflix? Well, I know most of them, and they have different camera setups to the F1 guys. Yeah, I sold 5 of my NFTs, 6 still available. What is your first memory from F1? Oh, probably going to a corporate box in... No, sitting in the stands on a wet day with Brett Waterman the year that Senna was racing in Adelaide, and it was a horrible afternoon. And also, yes, it was always Adelaide because I was an Adelaide boy. And it was great, that event in Adelaide. Right, which is your favourite driver to take photos of? Nico Hulkenberg. There you go. If Christmas is in October and your birthday is tomorrow, how many colours in the sky can you smell with your ears? Okay, that's like what is the difference between a duck? One of its legs is both the same. No, I've never partied with Kimmy, and I've said maybe one sentence to him. Is Danny Rick in the wet the best photo you've taken? Yeah. Yeah, it is, because I know that photo will be very hard to ever replicate. Did you have hair? I had lots of hair. It was curly. No, it wasn't curly. My brother's was curly. The answer is 7 for the riddle. Of course it was. Who would win, Hamilton, a Haas, or Mazepin and a Mercedes? Now, isn't that a great question? That is a great question. Oh, hats off to you for asking that question. That is a thought provoker, Ian. I would guess Hamilton and the Haas. Do you miss home while on the road? Yeah, I missed it a couple of days this week. I don't know why, but when things are going well and good photos at F1, good experiences, nice accommodation, good food, and that's the struggle, eating good food and not crap, because it's so easy to just throw crap down your throat. We're at 51 minutes and we'll go a little bit longer. No, I don't know the answer to your question about the photo I want to take. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Photo of a driver at a men's urinal at the track from behind. Because I have seen a similar photo many years ago, and I thought, well, that's a really quirky picture. I did hear a story about a TV crew once following a driver into the toilet, and they got their passes taken off them for that. So I think you have to arrange that shot, otherwise you might be in trouble. My thoughts about Valtteri, top bloke. Not sure how he's going racing-wise. I would like to see him do better. Where can I find the Rick in the Wet picture? It's one of my pictures on... Go to prostarpics.com and search Daniel, spray. Or you could go to Hungary... No, what was it? Germany 2019. Stunning picture. No way a Haas is beating a Merc at the moment, assuming pro drivers in both. Okay. Ivans, if I disappear for a second, because I turned off the camera and went and looked at something else. Did I disappear? Somebody answer that for me, please. Oops, favourite driver. Someone tell me. Any plans on visiting Spa this year? I still haven't got any accommodation in Spa. It's another one of those places that's horrible. Oh, so I did disappear. Okay, thank you for that. How was the atmosphere before a race start? It's nothing. There's no real atmosphere. No crowd. There's lots of people milling about on the track. It's a bizarre situation, really bizarre. And I'm looking forward to people coming back into the stands. Yeah, I've had dinner with a couple of drivers, not a drink. Well, yeah, they drank at the meal, so yes. Do I think George will replace Bottas? It's too early to tell. No, I was asked. I talked to a team once about being official photographer, but they didn't get back to me. And quite frankly, I don't want to do it. I think I couldn't do what I do with you if I was a team photographer. There's no way. And I think there's far more in this for me than just shooting pics for one team. Yes, you'd get lots of pictures of that team, but you'd be you wouldn't get as many of other teams. Now, somebody had a question there. The most expensive car might have been the one last week, the one of the Ferraris that Carlos was in, the red one, the super fast, was it? The 812S. Lando's wasn't much far behind that. When do you reckon full capacity audience is back? Next year, maybe, hopefully. Maybe not next year. When are we going to get rid of these masks? Not quick enough, I suggest. Best race of the season so far. I liked Imola. I didn't like Barcelona. It was just boring for me photographically. And I didn't like Bahrain. So I think Imola or Portugal were my two favourites. West Coast, or Freo, West Coast by a mile. I sponsored them for 20 odd years. How many years have I been married? 95 I got married. How will you get back to Oz for the F1? If we go with F1, we get exemption. We'd come straight in. We'd work out a way to get in there. But if they don't let everyone in, I won't be going back. 40% capacity at Monaco. I heard it was 7,500 fans. And that's not 40%, is it? Yeah, you're right, the 812 super fast. Well, maybe they've changed it. What do you most love about being an F1 photographer? It's the challenge of taking a good photo and not just standing in one spot like driver arrivals. It'd be so easy just to sit on that green carpet like I did for a little bit last week. Just take the same shot of every driver coming in and then you go, what are you doing? That's boring. So you've got to mix it up. Behind the scenes of pit garages, I'm nowhere near the pit garages. That wouldn't be something that I could report on this year. Thoughts on Mark McGowan? Done a great job. Perhaps been a bit heavy-handed. Hard to come out of that, because if you just got your mind set on, and I'm talking about our Premier in Western Australia, he's got his mind set on having no COVID whatsoever. And once you get that into your head, you get a few cases, and then you go into wild panic. Still, Western Australia's done pretty well out of this, and as Daniel Ricciardo said to me, he said, what are you doing here? Everyone in F1 wants to be where you were, and you've come over here. And I thought, yeah, fair call. Hello, Robin. Welcome to the team. Robin gets a little icon next to her name, and she's now a member. Well, Iravan, I can't reduce the price of the books because of the fact they're individually printed. Now, if I had 10,000 printed, you could do them for half the price. But what happens is, I'm not going to print 10,000 copies of Antonio Giovinazzi. I might only sell 30 a year. So that's where the beauty of books like this are. With my F1 books, I can go, like if you have a look at the Charles book from this week to 2 weeks ago, it's different. There's 2 extra photos in. You can't do that when you do books. Once you print a book, it's all out of date. So yeah, they are more expensive than I would like, but they are absolutely up to date. And if I only sell one, I can still afford to do it. Because no one effectively is going to do a book on Nicholas Latifi because he hasn't got that many fans. But I can. If I get enough pictures of him, I can do a book. So we've got a couple more minutes left to go. Why is Monaco? I don't know what that means. Mazepin pictures would sell out in a minute. Do you want to drive an F1 car? It'd be nice, but I would never be able to. And I would put it in the wall, I think. Almost anyone who has a crack at it says it's just not doable because of... I did read a great story, and I might have even used it in the video once, where some guy was saying he had a chance. He's just a normal punter. He got in the car. Obviously, he can drive a little bit. And he went to brake at the first corner, and he broke hard, he thought, because they said, you really got to put your foot on the pedal. And when he did, and he said his head was in his lap. And by the time he got his head up, he was halfway into the corner. And when he got back, though, they said, you did a really good job. You did 40% on the brake at the first corner. So that's what you would be faced with. And also, I think there's an issue of if you're in one of those 2-seater cars that you tend to vomit in the back because it's so violent. Hats off to them for being able to drive those cars. A couple more to go, and they are, where will I stay in Monaco? In an apartment. I'm not in Monaco, I'm in France too, just over the border. Top Gear fan. I've gone off Grand Tour. I haven't watched anything in a long time. Maybe I got bored with the format. I do love Jeremy. I think he's brilliant. I love his columns. How many GB photos? How many gigabyte of photos do you take? Okay, so there's about 20 mega photo, and I'll take 15,000 of them in a race weekend, of which I'll keep 1,000, and then I keep all of the JPEGs, so that except I buggered up in Portimao, I didn't back up. But apart from that, there's quite a lot of photos. How do you beat the boredom between races? There is no boredom. I'm doing so much video work that I hardly get a moment to relax. So I really need to stop doing so much and perhaps taking a bit more time out. Do photographers sometimes overstep their boundaries with drivers? Yeah, I've heard of stories of photographers wanting selfies. New guys come in and want selfies straight up front, which I think is a shocking thing. I've never done that. I've had one selfie a couple of years in with Daniel. It was his last race and everyone was getting selfies. I thought, fuck it, I'll bugger it. I'll have a crack. Yes, I have a Porsche 911, 997. What about the Indian GP? Well, I don't think we're going to have one, are we? No one has an assistant. No photographer has an assistant. It's not a thing. And even the big photography houses who used to have an editor at the track don't have one now. It all gets done back home. They just have the bare minimum of people. And last question, I'll look for something interesting here, and it won't be about India or favourite track or favourite driver or any of the common questions. Okay, was I upset about Max being defeated? Yeah, I would have liked him to have won just to keep the competition interesting, but it was good to be able to listen to the progress of that race. So with that said, would I buy the Excellence for £120,000? I don't even know what that is. Is that a car? Rightio, well, thank you very much for your attention, and from the lovely garden here in Barcelona, and that's the full 360 view here, and I will say goodbye to you now, and next Sunday we'll do another one after the Monaco GP, and hopefully I'll have a myriad of stories to share with you, and now I'll go and make a decision about whether I do another 7 hours of video work or have the day off, so bye-bye.